You ever wonder why some men seem to understand women effortlessly, while others feel like they're constantly lost in translation? Maybe you've been there, staring at your phone, scrolling through messages, trying to decode every little word, every little pause, and still coming up empty. It's exhausting, isn't it? And it's not just about dating. It's about connection, intimacy, and understanding the very essence of the women in your life, the women you love, admire, or hope to love one day. Here's the truth: women are not complicated, they are deeply human. They feel, they process, they dream, and sometimes they carry storms inside that no one else can see. And yet, so many men miss the signs, ignore the emotions, or try to solve what's not broken with logic alone. What I want to share with you today are facts, mind-blowing facts, about women that will open your eyes. Facts that will help you understand why they react the way they do, what truly makes them feel valued, and how you, as a man, can become not just attractive, but unforgettable. Because at the end of the day, it's not about winning arguments, it's not about showing power, it's about emotional intelligence, awareness, and presence. If you can learn this, you don't just attract women, you build relationships that are real, that are deep, and that last. So sit back, listen closely, and let these truths change the way you see women, and maybe the way you see yourself. Many men make the mistake of thinking communication with women is simply about the words she says. They hear the sentences, but they miss the meaning behind them. Here's the truth: women often communicate in ways that go far beyond what their lips are saying. It's in the tone of their voice, the pauses between words, the way they tilt their head, or the way their eyes reflect feelings they're not ready to speak aloud. A simple, "I'm fine," can carry layers of emotion, frustration, sadness, disappointment, or even longing. The words themselves are often a surface level translation of something much deeper. If you want to understand women, you must learn to read between the lines. Observe how she behaves when she's happy, upset, or uncertain. Notice the little shifts in energy, how her body relaxes when she's comfortable, or how she subtly distances herself when she feels unheard. These signals are not puzzles to solve, they are messages of the heart. The more attuned you become to these emotional cues, the more deeply you'll understand her. This is not about manipulation or trying to guess her next move. It's about empathy. It's about creating a space where she feels seen and valued. When you truly listen to the emotions behind her words, you send a powerful signal that you respect her inner world, that you care about how she feels, and that you are willing to meet her there on her terms. Most men focus on fixing problems, offering solutions, or proving themselves right. But with women, this approach often backfires. She doesn't always want a solution. She wants to be heard, to be understood, and to feel that her feelings matter. Emotional literacy becomes your greatest strength. It allows you to respond with patience, compassion, and insight rather than defensiveness or impatience. By learning to communicate through emotion rather than just words, you transform not only your relationships with women, but also your own understanding of human connection. You stop seeing them as mysterious or complicated and start seeing them as human beings with rich emotional lives. Lives that, when respected and understood, can create some of the deepest, most fulfilling connections you'll ever experience. Many men have been taught that vulnerability is weakness, that showing emotions or admitting fears will make them less respected or less attractive. But the reality is the exact opposite. Vulnerability is one of the most powerful traits a man can possess, especially when it comes to understanding and connecting with women. Women are drawn to men who can be real, who are not afraid to show their authentic selves, including their fears, doubts, and insecurities. It's not about oversharing or seeking sympathy. It's about honesty. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you send a message that you are human, that you are self-aware, and that you are emotionally intelligent. These qualities resonate deeply with women because they create trust, safety, and emotional intimacy. Think about it. A woman wants a partner who can stand strong, but also feels deeply. She wants someone who can hold space for her emotions without judgment, someone who can express his own feelings without fear of losing respect. High-value men understand that strength is not measured by the ability to hide pain, but by the courage to face it openly. Vulnerability is not a liability. It is a bridge to connection. When you share your dreams, your struggles, or even your failures, you invite her into your world. You create a bond that goes beyond surface level attraction. She sees you as real, and realness is magnetic. Women instinctively sense when a man is hiding behind a facade, and no charm, wealth, or status can replace the power of emotional honesty. This is also a lesson in self-growth. Embracing vulnerability allows you to process your emotions, understand your triggers, and build a deeper sense of self-awareness. It teaches patience, empathy, and emotional resilience, all qualities that make you not just attractive, but unforgettable. So the next time you feel the urge to hide your feelings, to put on a mask of stoicism, remember this: vulnerability is not weakness. It is the ultimate demonstration of strength. It is the key to authentic connection, the doorway to love that is deep, lasting, and fulfilling. And when a woman sees this in you, she doesn't just notice it. She respects it, cherishes it, and responds to it with the kind of emotional openness that transforms relationships forever. One of the most misunderstood aspects of women is their intuition. Many men dismiss it as irrational or emotional, but the truth is far deeper. A woman's intuition is her internal compass, a finely tuned system shaped by years of observation, experience, and emotional awareness. It is her ability to read situations, sense energy, and understand people on a level that often goes beyond logic. And if you want to connect with her on a meaningful level, you must learn to respect it. Intuition is not mystical. It's rooted in her ability to notice patterns that most men overlook. She picks up on subtle body language, tone of voice, micro-expressions, and even inconsistencies in words and actions. It's how she can feel when something is off, even if there's no obvious reason. When a man disregards her intuition or tries to rationalize it away, it sends a message that he doesn't value her insight, and that creates emotional distance. The key lesson here for men is not to try to fix her intuition or prove her wrong. Instead, observe, listen, and respect it. When she shares what she senses, even if it doesn't make logical sense to you, respond with curiosity and care. Ask questions, seek to understand, and show her that her perception matters. This simple act builds trust and demonstrates emotional intelligence, qualities that women instinctively notice and deeply value. Understanding her intuition also helps you navigate conflicts and decisions together. Women often weigh not just facts, but feelings, energy, and long-term impact. If you can honor this process rather than dismiss it, you create harmony instead of tension. You become a man who doesn't just hear her words, but understands her perspective, her reasoning, and her heart. Finally, embracing the power of her intuition is about humility. It's recognizing that you don't have all the answers and that emotional insight can be just as valuable, sometimes more so, than logic. When a woman feels that her intuition is respected, she opens up, she trusts more, and she connects more deeply. And that connection is where true intimacy, loyalty, and love flourish. Respect her intuition, honor her perceptions, and watch how your relationships transform from superficial interactions to profound, lasting connections that touch the soul. One of the most overlooked truths in relationships is how deeply women crave genuine appreciation. And I'm not talking about superficial compliments on looks or charm. I'm talking about authentic recognition, seeing her effort, valuing her sacrifices, and acknowledging the parts of her life that often go unnoticed. Appreciation is not optional. It is the glue that strengthens emotional bonds and fosters lasting connection. Many men underestimate this. They assume that love is proven through actions like providing or protecting, or that words alone can suffice. But women feel love in the details, in the moments where you notice the unseen. When she's worked hard all day, cooked a meal, held herself together emotionally, or pursued her personal goals, a simple, heartfelt acknowledgement can mean the world. It's in these small gestures that respect and value are communicated more powerfully than any grand display. Authentic appreciation is about more than just recognition. It's about presence. It's noticing when she's stressed and offering support, celebrating her victories, even if they seem small, and expressing gratitude for who she is, not just what she does. Women remember these moments. They feel seen, validated, and understood, and that creates a profound emotional bond that is hard to break. The danger lies in taking her for granted, assuming that love alone is enough, or thinking that she will always understand your intentions. Women are deeply intuitive. They can sense when appreciation is missing, even if it's unspoken. When that respect and acknowledgement aren't there, emotional distance grows, sometimes silently, until it becomes a barrier that is hard to overcome. High-value men understand this. They know that appreciation is not a weakness or a favor. It is a necessity for meaningful relationships. It's an active choice to value her consistently, to make her feel important in your life, and to communicate that she matters. Words like, "Thank you," "I see you," or "I'm proud of you," carry more weight than most men realize. When you embrace genuine appreciation, you transform the way she experiences love. You move from being just another presence in her life to someone who uplifts, validates, and inspires her. Appreciation becomes the silent force that strengthens intimacy, builds trust, and makes her feel not just loved, but profoundly cherished. Many men think attraction is all about looks, charm, or physical presence. And yes, those things matter, but here's the hard truth. Without emotional consistency, physical attraction fades. Women remember how you made them feel far more than how you looked. Your emotional presence, your ability to be dependable and grounded, is what creates lasting connection. Emotional consistency is about showing up, not just in grand gestures, but in the everyday moments that matter. It's being reliable when life gets messy, patient when she's overwhelmed, and steady when she needs support. Women are incredibly attuned to energy, tone, and emotional patterns. If your moods swing unpredictably, if your words and actions don't align, or if she can't rely on you emotionally, attraction diminishes. Consistency creates safety, and safety is the foundation of intimacy. Consider this: a woman can be drawn to a man for his appearance or charisma, but if he is emotionally unpredictable, she experiences anxiety, doubt, and emotional fatigue. Over time, the spark fades because emotional instability creates distance. On the other hand, a man who is consistent, who communicates honestly, keeps his promises, and remains calm in challenges, builds a sense of trust and admiration that deepens over time. That kind of presence is magnetic. Emotional consistency also demonstrates maturity. It shows that you are aware of your emotions. You take responsibility for your actions, and you can navigate conflict without resorting to impulsivity or defensiveness. Women instinctively recognize this as strength, and it inspires loyalty and respect. It is far more attractive than superficial charm because it signals long-term reliability. A man who can be counted on not just in the easy moments, but in the hard ones. Physical attraction may open doors, but emotional consistency keeps the connection alive. It transforms relationships from fleeting encounters into partnerships built on trust, respect, and deep intimacy. Women are not looking for perfection. They are looking for a man who can be steady, present, and emotionally available. When you master this, you no longer just capture attention. You earn her heart, her trust, and her lasting admiration. In the end, men who understand this principle become unforgettable, not because of how they look, but because